Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to our live unscripted OPH Classics walkthrough of Wonder Boy and Monster World. This is part 6.5 of our walkthrough, the underwater sea treasures, kind of part 2 here of the underwater sea plunder. As we did in our last video, we did collect all of the chests in the original area that we were in with water. Now we're going to go to the new area with water that we have access to now that we have the trident. So we're going to go ahead and venture back to the castle dungeon. If you don't remember how to do that, you just take a right from the inn at the village, head into the door there, down the stairs, and through the door in there. Now, as you see here, we have this water here, and this is actually where we have access to the new water area. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and just avoid that, just for the time being, as there is one more secret door we can access now that we have the trident as well. If you remember, there was a few different places with water as we were navigating the dungeon the first time. Now we can come back through here and actually go underwater in those areas as opposed to swimming atop of it, as we do have the trident. So we're going to go all the way back to the, I believe it was the first or second little area. I think it was actually the first area that had water in it. And once we get all the way back there, we're going to find a secret door that does lead us underwater and gets us, I think, some gold, as well as one of those big gold chests, or big gold bags. So I'm pretty sure it's just a gold chest. I could be wrong, there may be a heart or something in it, but we'll find out what's in it in just a second. We go all the way back here to this water here with the two different levels, and we go down to the bottom level. We're going to just hit up again and access the secret door. Here we're going to fight these weird little jellyfish guys. They do have a projectile that they shoot at you, so I suggest spinning your staff to kill them, because if they do shoot it at you, it will block the projectile. Now, if you do get close enough as well, it just kind of pins them into place, which is great. So basically, we're just going to come down here and go ahead and gain access to this chest that's at the bottom of this area here. And this chest just opens up here. It does, oh wow, it actually does contain a heart. So I'm glad that we came here, because that chest does contain a heart and is super awesome. So there is that. Okay, so anyway, that is the only thing that we have access to in this area. I think this is a dead end, so we can't get actually to the water area, so we're going to have to go back through this door here, which leads us back to the castle dungeon. And we'll go ahead and find our way back to the first opening, or the last opening, depending on how you look at it, in the dungeon to gain access to the new water area. Now, the new water area does have Poseidon's temple in it, but we're going to go ahead and cover that completely in the next walkthrough, as that is kind of like a little miniature dungeon. Well, it is a dungeon, and it kind of feels like there's a boss fight at the end of it, because you do see a large creature kind of thing, but you don't actually fight anything at the end there. But it does just feel like a full dungeon, so it does deserve, I think, its own little walkthrough. But of course, we'll collect all the items, and the item that gains us access to that area before, because that's all kind of part of the undersea plunders. So as you're just fighting your way back through here, try not to take too much damage, because it's really annoying to have to go all the way back to the castle as opposed to just jumping down here and into our new area. So I guess they were kind of worried about an undersea attack on the castle here, so they have some floating mines that you got to avoid as you come out of the castle here. Basically, when you come out of the castle, you're just going to want to just leave this little first area. Like, it goes pretty far, but if you just kind of leave through the top right at the beginning, and you do it at the right angle, you can quickly launch yourself up to this platform here. which will jump you up and allow you access to this part, to this area over here. Now this area does have a chest in it, as well as just a bunch of crabs you have to fight off. Just go ahead and push the crabs back, fight them all off, and collect the chest. The chest holds a pygmy sword, which is part of the pygmy armor collection. That armor collection actually allows us to gain access to a new world a little bit later on in the game that you can only gain access to once you've collected all pieces of that armor. So it is very important to pick them all up along the way, as opposed to having to go back and pick them up individually. So now that we do have that, we can go back underwater here, because like I said, it is faster to navigate through the water than it is to actually like go back and walk on ground. It is slower on ground level, which is kind of weird, but it is. So anyway, once you get back underwater here, you have this little ledge here. It's the first piece. If you go all the way left and you just come this way, it's the first piece that you hit that's at the top. And once you hit that, you're just going to swim over it and kind of fall down and follow it down. And I know it seems weird, but you got to get over it first. Oh, it's actually this one. Yeah, it's probably this one. Yeah, it's going to be this one right here. So you're going to go over this first piece and land on the piece that's kind of just slightly lower than it. And then just go ahead and follow straight down the back wall of this. And this is going to lead you to a chest that's really easy to miss, and probably one of the most important chests to get in the game, as it does hold your first thunder magic. And the thunder magic is amazing magic, that just one of the most useful items in the game. Basically, you can use it to kill pretty much anything in the screen that is pretty much anywhere. It doesn't matter where it is, and if it hits it, it's pretty much going to take fatal damage. Most things will take fatal damage. Not everything, of course, but it's great to at least damage everything in the screen, whether it's flying, swimming, touching the ground, you name it, the thunder magic will hit it, and it hits it all as soon as you activate it. As well as, of course, it can be activated in the air and on the ground. So definitely a great magic to pick up. Now I'd like to mention that you can both go over this little area here, or you can actually go under and get some, I think it's just things that you fight under it, but you won't actually be able to cross over into the next area without coming up over it. So you are going to have to, once you get here, jump up over this piece of land. Again, what it looks like down here. It looks like kind of like a wall, like you're going to go into a new screen, and the screen will stop following you when you hit this point, and that's when you know that you're going to want to come up and actually go over into this next little area here. Again, you can't get through, so you can try all you'd like, but you're just going to hit a bunch of dead ends. Up here, though, we are going to fight two large creatures, the large monkeys, as well as the large crabs, and then we do fight just the small monkeys. We don't fight the small crabs up here, but we do fight both of the large ones and the small ones. So you can fight them off, and again, they have this, about the same drop rate as the other ones you fought. And again, the big ones can drop large hearts and fill up your health completely. So if you do want to kill the big monkeys, if you're low on health, there is a small chance that they will drop a big heart as opposed to this little one, and full heal you. Once you get to the end of this area, you're just going to go ahead and just jump straight down back into the water, because the water is faster again than trying to just walk on the ground level. So we'll just go ahead and jump into the water. We're going to fight this guy off because he's a dick and in my way. And then once we kill him, we will continue onward to get a chest. Now, the chest is located pretty much directly under me, so you can go ahead and just swim across, fight the second jellyfish here, and come down here. I'm going to go ahead and just thunder these guys off to get them out of my way, swim back over here, and pick up the chest. Now, this chest just contains a bunch of gold. That's around 100 gold in there. Just a lot of big coins. But it is good to just make sure you do get all the chests, just so you feel like, hey, you know, I got all the chests, I didn't miss anything. That way if you're ever swimming through here, you don't see a chest that's closed and go, oh man, what's in that? But that is the actual last chest in this underwater area that we are going to be collecting. There is a few more items that we can, or at least one more item that we can get before the end of this part of the walkthrough. Now, if you jump up here, you can go across these platforms that are on this right side, and there's going to be a little launch pad that'll take you up to the right here, where an item is located that we're going to want to gain access to. Now, I would like to mention, just for like kind of completion value of the walkthrough, that there is a little cabin that is located over here to your left. You can go inside of this cabin, and there is somebody in here, this female here, who will actually trade you some valuable information if you'd like to give up the ocarina, which you have gotten earlier in the game. Now, there's no point in keeping the ocarina. The ocarina will never do anything for you ever again. You only use it in that one dungeon at the very beginning of the game to open the doors. But just as a keepsake, I like to hold on to my ocarina. I never like to give it up. But basically what she tells you is if you stand in between the two palm trees, the two sets of palm trees, and hit up, that something magical might happen. Basically, she's telling you that there's a hidden door located right here, and that you're able to access this chest through the hidden door. Now, that hidden door does give you access to the chest carrying the amulet, and it is an amulet which is an item that you automatically equip, that is automatically on Xian's person. Now, there's no real way to like look at it. You can go through all this stuff that you want, and you're never gonna like find it. But if you look down at the bottom here, it kind of tells you items that you have that you don't really use, like the lamp and the amulet are actually listed, but you will never see them. So you don't really get a look at it, even though it does show it to you once, like at the very beginning there, it showed it to you when you picked it up. You don't actually get a look at it again. But you are wearing the amulet, basically, as soon as you pick it up. Now, once you have picked up the amulet, you'll actually have access, if you go straight down from the point where you picked it up, to this temple here. And this was just a wall before. I'm not sure if we saw it in the stream or not, but it was just a wall until we got the amulet. And now we have access to it and can actually go inside of this area. But we're not going to quite go inside of the area yet, simply because, well, like I said, it's a fairly large area, so we're just going to cover that in the next portion of the walkthrough. So we'll go ahead and just call this stream here. But as I like to do in all my streams, I like to get back to the town, you know, and save up, just so, like, I'm at full life, and it just feels like, you know, the game was saved, and it's the end of the stream. So I'm going to show you a real quick way to get back to the beginning of it. So if you swim real quick, like I said, you swim much faster than you can run on the land. So if you swim all the way across and then just jump up onto those platforms there, you can get up here fairly quickly. If the monkeys or anything are in your way, you have magic like Firestorm to get them out of the way quickly, as well as you can jump over most things in the game. So if the big monkeys or anything are coming at you, you can sort of jump over them, as well as you can just stab the little monkeys to get them out of the way, depending on how you want to do it. Kill everything off, get across here, and just head straight back across. Now, because this is the only portion of land that you have to be on, you can just sink directly back into the water here and kind of make your way across swimming. Again, like I said, swimming is just a lot faster than any other mode of transportation, so it's best just to swim through all this. So we're real quickly going to swim all the way back to the beginning, which is right here, and then head back up into the castle and save up. And then from there, we'll go ahead and play into the next walkthrough, which will be the underwater sea castle. This is going to just take one moment. I do believe we may actually... Yeah, usually when you beat a boss or a specific area, you always gain access to a new shop. So So I'm going to go back here and see if we have gained access to this new shop yet. It may still not quite be done. May still be locked up. Yeah, so this store is going to be locked up basically until we complete the dungeon where Poseidon is. So again, we're going to call this stream here. Again, thanks for tuning in with OPH-Gaming, and catch us next time on the next portion of the walkthrough, part 7 of our walkthrough. Thanks again, and catch us here in just a moment, guys.